All right, welcome to the Two Men with Mike's podcast. I am one of your hosts, Bobby Joe, and I've got alongside me.
The Dante Wilder hater, CJ.
Oh
Because
yeah,
he
man,
got knocked out. But
man, you got
I
it.
hate him.
I didn't watch the fight, so I'm gonna have to get your opinions and thoughts on the fight. I'm. It's gonna be shocking because I'm not as big a boxing fan as some
Wow.
people might think. So I definitely want to hear your thoughts on the fight and just to kind of see what you got into this weekend because I got a story I posted on Facebook. I got something that happened to me in Whole Foods, one of my favorite places on earth.
Well, hey,
Some
well
crazy
then, why wait on the boring stuff I got to talk about? Just go into what you got to say. I mean, look, since it sounds like you are ready to, chunk that up, so
all right, all
let's
right.
not stop you from that.
So I went to Whole Foods today for lunch. I'm at the hot bar, and walking between the hot bar and the salad bar, and this guy, I hear this voice, and there's quite a few people around, and there's this guy, and he says, "Hey, I know you gonna buy me these 5 wings. I just want 5 wings." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Nah, bro, I'm good. I'm good." He's like, "No, you gonna buy me these 5 wings? I don't have any money." So he pulls out his little, how people pull out their pocket to show that they don't have any money or anything in there. It's empty
Yeah.
pocket. So I said, "Nah, man, I'm good, man. I'm not, I'm straight." So he kept hassling me about it. I was like, "Man, I'm gonna buy this dude these 5 wings." So he kept going. He was like,
So you got peer
"Yeah."
pressured.
Yeah, I feel bad. So
Wow.
he said, "Man, I'm a movie producer. You heard of Tyler Perry?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, I've done some work with Tyler Perry, and I'm working on New Jack City 2 and my brother's keeper, and I want you
Man.
to be in the movie. There's a strip club scene I want you to be in." I'm like, "What the hell?" So he's like, "You got all that hair on your head. You look like you got some money." Um,
Mhm.
so he asked me, he said, "You got a brother?" I said, "Yeah, I got a younger brother." He said, he asked me, "Is he as thick as or built as you?" I'm like, "Come on now, bro." I'm like, "He's younger, he's a little bit shorter, but yeah,
At this point, this almost sound like a line. Maybe that was
yeah,
he was trying to become your life
man,
partner.
I don't know what this
So
dude
I'm
was doing."
just
So he said, "Yeah, man, look, so I want to reimburse you for these wings." So my church, I'm a pastor too. That's what he said. So we got
wow.
this church called
It just gets better.
yeah. He said we got this church and we own this restaurant called the Beautiful Restaurant on Cascade Road in Atlanta. He said, "So go down there, get you something to eat, and I want you to leave your headshots and a resume." Because we need to get you in this movie and tell your brother to do the same. I'm like, "What?" So I'm at the register buying him these 5 wings. And he was like, "Yeah, man, you need to call me. What's your number?" I'm like, "No, I'm good." He's like, "Man, I got a white Range Rover out front." And I'm thinking, "Well, why you need me to buy you some wings then?" So I didn't even say anything. So I'm rolling out and he's still calling me like, "What's your number?" I'm like, "Man, I'm good." And I got in the car and left and I was talking to a friend of mine and he was just saying, "Yeah, man, you didn't have to buy those wings, but it was, God's gonna bless you or whatever." But I'm like, if you just wanted some wings, bro, all you had to do was just ask me to get you some wings. You were down on your luck. You didn't have to give me this whole story about Tyler Perry and being a producer. So
I
it was just,
yeah, I was gonna say after this point, I mean, after all that stuff of being a movie producer and you have a restaurant for a church somewhere,
yeah,
really at that point, I'd be like, since you got that restaurant at a church and you do have a vehicle, how about you just drive over to your restaurant and get you something to
yeah.
eat
And
instead of
you
me
got a
paying for
Range
these
Rover.
wings?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
you can go. I know
you
it's a
know,
drive because we were in Kennesaw. I know it's a drive, but you can go over there and you can drive to Cascade and get you something to eat.
much less,
So
you're a movie producer. I'm sure you have a black, let's say a black card at the least sitting on your pocket somewhere. I mean, come on. You have to
I,
go through all that just to, just say you really want to, you need the wings or you're hungry or whatever. But the only prop I give him is for if he couldn't get the wings and couldn't buy them, he went through this whole story. But my thing is, well, at least he got wings and didn't ask for money. you
right,
know,
true. But my
glass half
thing
full.
is, all those people in there, and you approach me. All those people, why me? Don't. I'm like, man, I'm just trying to get in, get out, so I got to get back to work. And I was almost late coming back from my lunch break, fooling around with him. So,
Maybe you're
uh,
approachable,
you know what? I don't know. I get that. Some people random people just start, start talking to me in the grocery store. I don't know what it is, but
Yeah,
hey, maybe
you
it's
might
a
have that
blessing.
look though.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Sometimes it's a curse. But your
That's your
weekend though. I mean, what
superhero.
I know yours. You probably weren't approached by anybody crazy.
Not crazy like that. No,
Mhm.
usually I'm just approached by a lot of beautiful women, and I hate it. And I just
Hey.
they're always on. No, I'm lying. I'm usually sitting around hoping a beautiful lady approach me.
Right, right.
No, I mean, literally my weekend was nothing. I mean, other than like a fight party and whatever, and
and
I
that's
did
and
that.
that's what. Yeah, I wanted to ask you about. So you had a fight party at the house?
Yeah. So
So how many people you have over?
when I say fight party, it's probably like 8 people.
8 people.
Yeah.
8 people.
So we say fight party. It could be 2 people and like, yo, I had a fight party.
Right.
Saturday.
Was it now? Now is your spot normally the fight party spot, the having spot? Everybody comes to your house.
Yeah, and actually a lot of people. I mean, it's a lot, but people do come over a lot, especially when it fights or whatever. Whatever pay-per-view event it is going to be at my house. Or
okay.
And plus, I'm the house that has. You have that one friend, I guess, that people always go to their house to hang out and drink or do whatever. That's my house. So, they're going to be, I guess, I have the party house, I guess,
That used to be my apartment in Biloxi years ago. That small 900 square foot apartment. I used to call it NFL Sexy Sundays. Everybody would come over there. It'd be a whole bunch of people in that 900 square foot apartment, and we would just be drinking. Yeah. And everybody. You have the friend. Sometimes we've been that friend that everybody's like, let's go over to so and so's house.
Yeah, you can always go to that house and hang out.
Right, have a good time. Like, CJ's having something. Yeah. It's a given that he's gonna have something. Yeah. But back to the fight. So I didn't see it. So what were your thoughts? I've been seeing different things on social media, but what were your thoughts on the fight? How many rounds did it go? By the way, I'm so terrible.
I don't remember simply because I had a few drinks, so I don't even. All the rounds ran into each other. To be honest, I was drinking, so I was drinking. So I had too many drinks. I don't even remember what round it went down in.
Right. But was it an exciting fight?
Yeah, it was exciting because it was exciting and aggravating at the same time.
Right.
Because he was, because I was going for Wilder, and I actually, people at my house, so I'm betting money. I bet money.
Uh-huh.
And all kind of other crazy things. I just knew Deontay Wilder. The man said he was gonna come out and do some things. He's trained differently. And I'm like hoping, okay, I took his word for it. He never lied to me, But when he came out, he didn't train differently. I'm like, this guy really is not a boxer. He has no jab. He don't know how to. He doesn't have a jab. He just throws a lot of haymakers and hope they hit. Those one punch, and that's what he's made his career off of. So Tyson Fury knows how to, box. He outboxed him. Deontay Wilder can't box. He's just a throw a haymaker, can't throw a jab. His stance is even, not great.
Would you
professional?
Would you say he's just like a brawler?
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. Pretty much. And Fury, is a boxer, so that's going to win every time. I just hate, that he got his butt kicked because I lost money and pride right along with his pride. Because I'm talking big noise and, I was almost like that Martin singing, everybody out, get out. Get out
everybody on this side of the door, I'm going to need you to make your way to the other side of the door.
Exactly. Except for the ones that was down with me, that was betting with me against the other guy. There's only me and another guy betting for Deontay Wilder, and everybody else was betting for Fury. So, I'm betting everybody else. So there's like 5 or 6 other people I'm betting. And, Deontay Wilder came out and just was garbage. I'm just like, this guy is, you made it this far with no real boxing talent. He doesn't move. He can't move. And of course, he tired out too, real quick too. But I mean, you're throwing those haymakers like that, that's going to happen.
It doesn't even sound like he was in shape at all.
The crazy thing, he was physically, his body was,
right.
Not, but his body was physically great. He even
Mm-hmm.
like he put on a little weight on, as you know, because of the small legs, but they actually had a little more
Right.
size to him. But he just, which is terrible because you built your body up. You look like, let's say, a Greek god, and you over here fighting the Marshmallow Man, and he knock you out, sent you back.
Right. Right.
So,
Right.
and then even the word, the bad, even another bad part about the whole thing was Fury went to after the fight, went to go shake his hand, and he was like, "No, Dante Wilder wouldn't shake his hand and told him
He
he
wouldn't
didn't
shake.
respect him." Yeah, he told
Wow.
Fury he didn't respect him. I'm like, that's pretty bad. So I'm
Wow.
off his team at this point. I'm off the Wilder team. I'm like, man, I done lost money. You look
Right.
crazy, and then you want to do all that. I mean, you lost, man. You take that loss like a man. Take that
Right.
L,
Right.
come back and do whatever you need to do later in life. But I'm like, oh
Wow.
man, this is terrible.
Yeah. It seemed like that's everything. Just everybody was, just talking about that, and I don't know. There's two things I wanted to talk to you about. There's two coaches in the NFL. We just talk about them real briefly. The Urban Meyer thing first. So Urban Meyer he stayed behind after the Thursday night game. He didn't fly back with the team, and he was seen at his restaurant. I believe it's his restaurant with his hand in a young lady's pants. And I know he's married. So hey, I'm not judging. You like it, I love it. But I just wanted to, I don't know if you heard the story, but I was watching ESPN. It just sounds weird that how does your coach, supposed to be the leader of the team, lead by example, but you don't get on the plane with the team and fly back? If I'm a player, I get on that team, I get on that flight. I'm expecting to see my coach in that front row, uh, you know, flying home with us, win or loss, and I just kind of speak on leadership, it just kind of, I don't know. I don't know how much you follow his career. I just think Urban Meyer is more of a college coach, and I think he's going to be one and done.
Yeah,
Jags. Yeah.
I mean, I think he's going to be he is a college coach, but
Yeah.
my thing is, like you said, the key word leadership.
Yeah.
Leadership falls within you as a person.
Right.
So whoever you may, let's say you're on that football team and you didn't see your coach catch the plane. Your exam it's almost like do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, do right.
So you as and I'd say anybody on that plane as a grown man, if your coach did do that, how does that affect your game? I mean, is it going to affect your game?
Right.
Right. Are you going to let that affect your game? Are you going to let that affect your check? Your livelihood? Him not making that plane, what does it do to you? If you let it affect who you are as a person, then you have some things that you need to deal with.
Right.
Because like I said, leadership falls within everybody as in a person. I mean, we take individuals and say, oh, he's the coach, he's the leader, right? But you have to realize as human beings, we all have lack of judgment at sometimes.
Right.
So things are going to happen. I mean, we really know why he stayed back? Heck, the dude probably could have had a health issue, had to go to the hospital, and when he felt good, and man, let me go stick my hand down somebody's damn pants. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If I go let that affect me, I'm like, it's smug,
Right.
Do it say, oh, call for his job? No, these little things like that is just, I just think like if they're really like, oh, he should be fired. You never done it. And I mean, and I'm not taking up for the guy, but I just think it's just too small of a thing to sit there and say, oh, take someone's job. Now, yeah, do you get reprimanded, suspended, or whatever it may be? Yes, I agree with that.
Right.
But is it really worth an entire job? For something that everybody on that plane pretty much does. The only difference is none of them are getting caught other than he might messed up. Like I said, he had a lack of judgment and got caught out there.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah, that's another way you can look at it too. So yeah, I hope I don't know if anything is going to come from it. I think the other situation, the other coach I wanted to talk to you about real fast was John Gruden. In the email he sent, racist email. People are saying back in 2011, I believe, talking about the president of the NFL Players Association, Morris Smith. He called him in an email "dumb Morris," and he said with lips that look like Michelin tires. So a lot of people are claiming that it's racist, racist email, and then some people are like, you shouldn't hold him accountable for something he said when in 2011, and he was working for ESPN, and so I don't know. I think I just have a hard time. People, I got a problem with people telling me, what I should or shouldn't be offended by. Me, honestly, I don't think he should be fired. I don't know. I do think the comment was insensitive because to me that goes back to that whole thing, black people, big lips.
Yeah.
And his thing was he was saying, well, I usually describe liars. And I've done that in the past, saying rubber lips, which I don't believe him. I think he's lying.
Yeah,
but that's just me.
They always gonna throw that out there, like, I use this then.
Yeah. Some spin control. So do you, from what you know, do you think he should, like, would you fire him if you were the coach, the owner of the LA or I'm sorry, Las Vegas Raiders?
The Raiders? No. Yeah. If I owned the Raiders?
Yeah. Would you fire him?
It would be hard. Just for the simple fact that a lot of times, I might sound racist right now, but I think a lot of people, especially a lot of Caucasians with money, are racist to me.
Okay.
And just from being around a lot of them, they all have a little racism in them. But the whole Michelin thing from I don't know, 11 years ago you said?
Yeah. It was in 2011.
Okay, it's in 2011. I probably, like I said, I probably would suspend him and do whatever, and just basically, just have him on thin ice.
Right.
Especially if you're not winning games, but they're winning games. So,
yeah.
The thing is, if and I know that's like a crazy way to look at it, but it's kind of hard because, like you say, with me, I guess I'm a little biased because I already think that a lot of white people are racist, but. Calling him Michelin, whatever lips or whatever.
Lips that look like Michelin tires.
I mean, I don't even, I really couldn't tell you to be. Sometimes it seems like that, but sometimes it doesn't. It just depends on the whole verbiage to me,
Right.
We, as African Americans, we say a few things that, could be racist. Well, they are towards Caucasians. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not taking up for them or nothing like that. But and here's another thing is because everything today, it seems like you can't do nothing and say anything. It's either racist or
cancel culture.
Yeah, and and that's another thing I'm gonna ask you about real quick though. But everything today, and I think I said this before, we're not offended until we're offended now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Which I know you kind of don't get it, but it's like, all of a sudden, I could say, man, we sit in them brown chairs and got these white pants, looking ugly.
Right.
I say it all the time, but all of a sudden, you might, or some lady or whoever, like, oh man, it's racist. When did that become racist? So everything is so sensitive today, man, and I hate it. Which brings up the thing with me. I'm gonna ask you about Dave Chappelle real quick.
Yeah. Okay.
He's he's under with the transgender and which I guess you've seen this special, right?
Yeah, I saw it. I did. I had to go back. I was falling asleep on it, not because I thought it was boring, but because I was tired.
Yeah.
And I said, I need to watch this, but I got on the couch and I was out. Yeah. But I saw it though. I went back and watched it.
And I think that's a prime example of being so sensitive. Because here's the thing, I'll tell you like this, what really kills me all of a sudden was they have I think there was a transgender executive producer or someone's dealing. Well, that's equated with Netflix that put that out, the actual movie or whatever. I'll call it a movie.
Mm-hmm.
They had no problem putting it out. And then when society, their society, I'm gonna call it transgender society, started, a couple of them started saying something. All of a sudden, this exec is like, well, if I known I've been putting out this type of stuff, I would have never did. No, you put it out from the jump.
Right.
You've seen what it was, but it doesn't offend you until it offends everybody else all of a sudden, And that's why I'm getting it. Like everybody, we don't know what is offend us until we're offended with coach, with
right.
community.
Right.
It's like, and it's comedy, when it has comedy, and then I'm gonna tell you one more quick thing I catch, but his comedy is usually the truth with humor.
Yeah.
So when is it that you get offended from the truth?
Right. He's what they used to say back in the day, dropping knowledge with his comedy. Honestly, he's my favorite comedian. I think he's a comedic genius. The thing with me was he's actually telling you, hey, I don't have a problem with transgender people. If you listen to my message, you listen to my comedy, these jokes, if you've seen one of my shows, it's not transgender people I have a problem with. He said, it's white people.
Exactly.
And if you listen to his message and what he's saying, and, because somebody made I think I talked about it on my Facebook page, and they were saying the message was lost on them. The messages are lost on people. They're not willing to receive it. Exactly. They don't want to admit that what he's saying makes sense. Now, you can disagree with different things, but when people were like, oh, well, the message is lost, I don't think so. I think there are some things, even like with police brutality, and I know I'm going off on something else, but people you say, well, I don't get this or that. You get it. I think you do. I think you're just not trying to receive it because it makes you then it forces you to admit what people have been saying all along, and you don't want to do that. You want to be in denial, and ignorance is bliss. But you're just not trying to receive it. But I don't think he should. People are trying to cancel him, but like I said, he's a comedic genius. I thought that's one of his best shows. So
the chances of him being canceled, it'd be slim to none because of the type of person he is, and the person is like you even tell you in the show, like he don't give, I don't give.
Yeah, he don't care, and he even said that's going to be one of his last like Netflix shows like that for a while. I'm sure he's got something else in the works.
Yeah, he already, as I said, he already secured his bag because that was the last one anyway. That's why it was called the closer. So what? I already got the bag. You already paid me. On top of that, I could care less about you. And he even told me, he said, you know what? I won't do jokes until your community as a transgender, the LGBTQ, whoever, community.
And we're laughing together.
Laugh together, which means understand that this, it's so funny because I can guarantee you a lot of stuff that he probably said in, some of the things he said, I bet you in their circles, they say the same thing.
Right. Right.
And I mean, I'm gonna tell you like this straight up. Like I thought that was genius when he was like, well, it is vagina, but it, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm kind of like, yeah, true. It's like an impossible or beyond vagina.
Right.
It's beet juice. It's not blood, which is true, I mean, you really can't unless you're God. You're not going to turn a guy into a girl or girl into a guy, vice versa.
Right.
But, and the thing is, he wasn't per se, no one was trying to cancel him when he was talking about the African-American community, the Caucasian communities,
Right.
Now you want to cancel him off of this,
Right. Right. And, like you said, we're actually jealous. He said he was jealous because he's like, man, look how their movement's going. Exactly. I wish our movement would get traction like that. So I mean, I get it. I thought it was brilliant. So hats off to him.
Yeah, I don't know who. I don't. To be honest, I said this earlier to someone. I was like, when did you other people get the right to start canceling stuff? Because last time I checked, that was an African American thing anyway. So now you're over here culture vulturing and taking our things and trying to use it for your for your
Right.
right of way. And it's like, nah, so we should be mad at you. How about we just cancel you, period? Because you're using our things.
I'm
You know?
I'm over it. So
Yeah.
it's it what it is. But
At least the
I
comedian
am
I would be, I'd be like, F all y'all. Same way
yeah,
you did.
exactly,
I'd be the same way.
exactly. But I'm definitely gonna keep my eye on this Gruden thing and see where this goes. See if it gains any traction. But and
Yeah.
then we may have to come back and talk about it again if something happens. But for now, that's gonna do it for the Two Men with Mike's podcast. We hope you had a good time.
Hold on, man. I have
Tell
a bunch of other stuff to talk about real
Oh,
quick.
I'm sorry, man. Go ahead,
No,
please.
I'm just joking.
Sure.
I'm just joking.
I was going to say, just go ahead and go check us out on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Tell your friends, and hopefully they'll enjoy it and they'll tell someone else about it. Hit that subscribe button. Subscribe. So
Yeah, 2menwithmikes@gmail.com.
that's right. And hit us up if you got a question, a comment. If you want to promote a business, let us know. We will get you on the show and let you talk about it. Give you your time to shine. So
yeah.
Yep. So, hey, that's it for me. I'm not going to mention my social medias anymore. I know they got it by now. If you don't have it by now, I just don't know what to tell you. CJ, you got anything in closing?
Nope.
You heard it from the man. That's going to do it for another episode. It's in the books, and you guys have a wonderful day.
Be easy and breezy.